Good day, everyone. This is Piling Needles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Hello there, Drek. Are the peasants treating you well this week?
Semi. Okay.
Semi. Well, that's better than
No
the
major
week.
uprisings, so yeah. So it's
All
fine.
right. That's good. And also, please welcome our special guest for tonight, Pew! Pew, pew, pew!
Bonnie Bew! Pew pew! I'm a double lasered Bonnie!
It has been a long time since we had you on the show.
It may have been a year.
Just about. I could probably go back and look, but I think you're right. I just thought the other day, we're going to have to rectify this, and here you are.
Here we are.
Say my name 3 times without me appearing.
That's right. You like Beetlejuice in that way.
Well, yes, I guess that does tend to happen a little bit. Let's head into our game news this week, and we'll begin with the newest little controversy in DDO, and that's something concerning mounts.
We're getting
Controversy?
mounts. Do we want mounts? Yes? No? Maybe?
Hey, I guess I'm just used to playing games that have mounts in them.
People wanted mounts. People have been asking for mounts, and now all of a sudden we're getting mounts, and now people are like losing their ever loving minds that we're getting the mounts. I don't know.
Well, that's because usually you have two halves of the group. The ones who wanted them before were all saying we need mounts because there weren't any, and of course they shut up when they finally get what they want, and of course the other half now speak up, the ones who never wanted them in the first place.
I guess that's true. We don't know a lot about the mounts. Here's what we do know, and then I'm going to add a little bit after this because I sent Cordovan some questions and I got a few answers. Ooh. But here is what we know from what they showed off on the live stream. The mounts are going to be an item that you carry with you. That item you are going to use to summon your horse. So it's not going to be skill-based. It's going to be an item that you click. So it's going to be a clicky. Just like in Lotro, if you're riding around on your mount and you take too much damage, you will be knocked off the horse and it's going to disappear. So you can't just like zerg through some area thinking, oh, I'm just going to run through a big group of mobs. No, it's not going to work that way. You'll eventually get knocked off your horse. The mounts are going to be coming with the Keep on the Borderland update. They are going to be used in wilderness areas and public spaces. You will not be able to use your horse in a dungeon. As of now, you cannot rename the horse. So the horse is just going to have like the name horse or whatever they're going to call it. And you can't name it, so it's not going to be like pets you can rename. Cordovan did on his live stream kind of keep the door open for future type of mounts. Right now they're only looking at horses, but in the future we could get other types of mounts.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have one thing I know that I want.
I know they've discussed owlbears.
Yes, they have.
Owlbears?
Yes, they have discussed rideable owlbears, but that's for the future. Right now, they're just going to concentrate on horses. The horse is going to be able to jump. Also, the horses are going to have variable speeds. Some of them will be faster than others. They are working on the animations right now. So what you see in the preview video that he put up was just an early look. So things might change. They will be on the Mania, which we're going to talk about here in a second, the end of the week, so we can see what they did. And I know a bunch of people in his live stream when he first announced this asked, how are we going to get them? How are we going to get them? He said for right now, they're keeping that type lipped. He did kind of later in the stream kind of make a joke and say he's going to leave that to e-commerce because I'm sure we're going to put these in the store with all the work we put into these.
Well, they're definitely not making them free.
Right. In a joking manner, he said that, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be in the store. But we have a little more information on that, actually. I did send, right after this happened, I did send Cordovan a couple questions, and he was kind enough to answer the ones that he could. So the first question I asked him was, mounts, now, why? What spurred this on? See what I did there? Spurred this on. See what I did there? Thank you. I'll be here all week. I would assume it's Keep on the Borderlands. And he said the answer to that is it's a mix of long-term community want mixed with content-related purpose mixed with, hey, we can actually do this. Sometimes things come together in a way that makes something both possible and cool. So once we saw a mount in our internal environment running around the game world, it kind of sold itself to us. And then I asked him if there was plans to offer different colors and styles of horses, similar to what they do if you're familiar with the horses in Lotro. And he says there is probably going to be different color horses when they debut the mounts. There may be some style variants, but the overall look is going to be pretty similar other than the color. I know one of them looks really different, though. I want to know more about that. And then I said, well, what about horse cosmetics? So, like, can you put, like, different saddles or whatever on the horses? And he says the mounts are not going to have a cosmetic or any other kind of slots. So there'll be no horse cosmetics.
Oh, no untitled mount game.
Exactly.
And I suspect that with the fuss that this has raised, because if it were a unanimous thing where everybody loved them, then they might consider upgrading later on if they have the tech to do that in the time. But
right,
yeah.
I'm sure anything kind of like they said with, people asking about owlbears and other things to ride on. That's kind of open-ended. If this goes well, if the tech on this works well, sure, I'm sure that the door's always open on that. I also asked him about gnomes and halflings. Are they going to ride on ponies? And he said mounts will have some scaling based on the size of the character riding it, but he would describe it as a slightly smaller rather than pint-sized.
I'd call it a pony.
So I can't wait to see what it's going to look like with a halfling or a gnome, or a dwarf for that matter, because they're a little short too.
Stumpy horse.
There you go. And then I asked him, the final question I asked him is, are the horses going to be available as quest rewards at some point? And he said, yes, most of the mounts we are debuting will be available in the Keep on the Borderlands content upon release. Future mounts will be released in a number of different ways, but yes, initially players will get the most of the available mounts upon running the new Keep on the Borderlands content.
Oh, so that makes me think there's going to be a clicky item you get from the quests for some kind of basic horsey, and then fancy horsies you can get in the store. That's
kind of what I figured too. That's exactly what I thought when I read that. Yeah. So,
or there could be a quest only horse that's in Keep of the Borderlands. And of course, since they had to do all this work in order to create this thing that's there just for the quest, they said, well, then, as you said, everything came together and said, all right, let's try to.
Might be, and we could get, maybe it's like a special Keep on the Borderland horse if you complete like the full saga quest, maybe.
You get a permanent one, perhaps? We'll have to find that out.
Yeah.
Horse on the Borderlands.
Oh, especially considering. Oh yeah, especially considering that Keep of the Borderlands is supposed to be a very low-level adventure, so a lot of people are going to be
right. Yeah,
players who are coming in are going to be suing this, coming in here.
And Gumsking in the chat is saying he wants to ride a beholder. That would be kind of awesome.
A beholder, good.
That would be pretty freaking amazing, actually. My thoughts on mounts. I think it's going to be cool to ride around some of the wilderness areas in them. My only thing I don't like, what they said, is that you can use them in public spaces. I don't see the need for that. I'm just imagining all of the horse butts that are going to be in the marketplace.
Wait, you can use them in public spaces?
Yes.
Oh. I thought it was only going to be wilderness.
Yeah, wilderness and public, which, that's exactly
That's like Neverwinter Online.
Yeah, let's rethink that and only do wilderness areas.
Yeah.
That's my only kind of, I'm not sure why they're doing that. Because, yeah, all you're going to
Well, you got to
see.
remember in Lotro they allowed him in public areas.
Well, yeah. And do you often see tons of horses running around? Like, and it's been so long. I played Lotro. I can't remember how many horses you actually see in towns.
Oh, in towns,
Okay.
it varies. It varies, I would say, on how many horses you tend to see in because a lot of people just ride mounted everywhere, and then there are some people who dismount in town, and then as soon as they get out of town, the first thing they do is summon a horse. There's some people who in the town use a regular horse, and then as soon as they're out of town, summon their war steed because it's faster. So it's
This is going to be ridiculous at some point. You're going to see there'll be a rash of absolutely ridiculous screenshots. So I'm like picturing one of these horses because they can jump, like in the harbor or House Durasco or one of those places where there's little jumpy spots.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because in one of my D&D games, my niece plays a Beastmaster, and she has a pet elk. It's like this giant elk, and the elk has proved to be like you can't get the elk anywhere. The elk doesn't fit, and we had the elk in the harbor of Stormreach trying to go up that ramp to the leaky dinghy, and it was all like push the elk's butt up the stairs. So that's what having horses in the game is going to be like. People pushing their horse's ass up the stairs
Yeah.
to the leaky dinghy.
Gums King does bring up a good point, too, in the chat. He said Lotro has a lot more space.
okay. Yes, you do have a point there.
Which is
Lotro's
true.
public space. Lotro is mainly public space, while DDO is mainly private
Instant space.
areas.
So, yeah. So, yeah. And he says, yeah, he can see people just parking the horse right there. When you zone in, you're just going to get horse butt right in your face.
Yeah, that
Which,
is...
yep, I'm going to see that happening. So, we'll see. Like I said, that's the only thing I wasn't too excited about is the whole in public spaces. Now, wilderness areas, I think it's going to be cool. Like, the first thing I'm going to do is take one of the horses to Ravenloft and just ride around Barovia, because that's going to be amazing.
Ravenloft and the Stormhorns are like the number 1 and 2 places
yeah.
want to ride a horse.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, especially considering that my main character is just getting to the point where I'll soon be going up into the Stormhorns.
Well, there you go. You can take a horse soon. As we did say, these are coming with Keep on the Borderland.
Maybe the Sands of Nactrum too, because then I could say I've been through the desert on a horse with no name.
Oh, I see what you did there. Wow.
But did Pineleaf get it?
That's what I was going to say. What's great is Pineleaf probably did not get that joke. Ooh,
No,
you did?
no, I got that one.
Wow.
2
Well,
points for me.
exactly. Good job. Achievement unlocked to you.
Let's then head into the hardcore league because we have horses coming, but of course we have the hardcore league going, and there is an FAQ for that on the wrap up of this fun little event, or for some people a frustrating little event.
I'm gonna say it depends on your point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of knew all this, but they just made it official, we'll say, and they put it back up. The Hardcore League is going to remain open through November the 15th. The event is formally going to come to an end when they close the worlds at an exact time to be announced. As soon as they get a little closer to the end date, they're going to tell you the exact time. So you're going to know at X time on November 15th, Hardcore League servers going away. So hopefully you have all of your whatever you want, all of your goals you have met. You got everything you want because you have until X time on the 15th to do that. And then after they close it, they are going to collect the data that they need, and that's going to announce all of the winners on the leaderboards. They're going to prepare the inclusion for the list in the Hall of Heroes, get the Chronicle together with all of the names, which I can't imagine how many names are going to be in the Chronicle. And then any little other thing that you need to do. Then early December, they're going to reopen the hardcore server for several weeks. And then players are going to be able to put items into their character inventories, shut down and disband their guilds, do other things they need to. And then you can transfer your characters to the world of your choice. That is going to be a free character transfer. And they did stress that the free transfer is only going to be from the hardcore server. So don't think just like, hey, they're doing free character transfers now. I can transfer my character off of Galanda to Argo. No, you cannot do that for free. This is only for the hardcore server where you can transfer free. And they did say that the following things are not, repeat, will not transfer with your character. That is going to be your friends list, your /ignore list, the guild name, guild level, your airship, the amenities, membership ranks, and other guild-related benefits.
And
items. Oh, go ahead.
And in fact, you should disband the guild anyway. That's one of the reasons why they're going there, because if you're the leader of a guild, you cannot transfer.
Yes. So that's why they stress get ready your guild, because the server's going away, so there's no point in having a guild anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize you couldn't transfer if you were a leader of a guild.
Yeah, no, I guess bad things happen. So they stressed that a couple times. Also, items in your true reincarnation cache, not going to transfer over. Any items you bid or you posted on the auction house, any in-game mail that you have, your shared account bank and crafting storage items, astral shard balances, creature companion stable. And then, as we said, you cannot be the leader of a guild and transfer your character from one world to another. If necessary, they suggest promoting a successor or other guild member to be the leader, or just disband the guild.
I'll say disbanding is probably the best idea.
That would probably be the best thing. And then you cannot be logged into the game world while undergoing a character transfer, so keep that in mind. And then if your character, like if you named yourself what your main character is on the other servers, and you transfer to a server where you have that name, you're going to get a -1 behind your name. And you're going to be granted a free one-time character rename credit. So then you can log in and do /change name, and then put your new name in, and then that'll change your name. You can do that one time for free. And the other point of kind of contention, which I don't understand why it was a point of contention, because they said this from day one. Everybody knew this. Any characters that you have that are dead, they're still dead. They're not coming back. So hopefully when you died, you didn't have anything cool on your body, because if you did, you're out of luck, because that character is still dead. Dead is dead on hardcore. There's a lot of people that are saying, well, why can't you just let us raise our dead characters and move up? You know, Quarterman did say there has been some internal discussions on this, but they did state at the beginning of Hardcore League that that's how it was going to work. When you're dead, you're dead. So I don't know. We'll see if they change that. But from what Quarterman has said a couple of times, I don't see that changing. So, that's why when you were playing on Hardcore, people always suggested if you get something good, put it in your shared storage. That way you can create a new character and get it. Because any character that is alive, and even if, say, you don't have any characters that are left alive on the hardcore, when the server comes back up, create a new character, transfer all your stuff out of your shared storage bank, transfer that character over, and there you go. But just keep that in mind. If you have any characters that are parked dead, you're not going to be able to get to any of those inventories because those characters are still going to be dead. You can, I think I did read, I can't remember if he said it on a live stream or if I read it in the forums, you can transfer those characters off the server, I think.
That's what I thought was the plan at the beginning.
Technically you can still get to that stuff. You just can't get to it on the hardcore world. So you could transfer the dead character off if you would want. But that, like I said, that was from day one. They said that's how it was going to work. Because hardcore was permadeath. You're dead. You're dead. There's no coming back from dead. You're done.
Why they call it the land of the lost souls or whatever?
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
You're lost.
You're lost. You're dead. Forget it. So hardcore, November 15th, and we will be sure to announce the exact time when SSG says it. Quarterman said they should be ready to announce that soon. So probably couple days before the 15th, they'll announce the exact time it's going to end, so you can know when your quest for whatever you're trying to get will come to an end.
Interesting thing on the time on there, considering that I would think it would be late enough so that the people at server time will
Yeah, I don't know.
have some time to play, but we don't.
I would
Who
assume
knows?
it's probably going to be like when other stuff ends. It's probably going to be a really late, I would think. But
Right. I
I'm
don't
not
think
sure
it's gonna be at 1 a.m. or anything like
because the only
that.
thing with that is since this is a server, somebody's going to have to be there to physically like take the server out of rotation.
Right.
So that's the only thing where my guess is it's going to be between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. because that's when they're usually in the office, I think. So probably that's a good timeline. You got somewhere in between there on the 15th, but we'll know more soon when they tell us the exact time.
Well, that depends on whether someone as Standing Stone is expected to be present on handling this shutdown, or if it's going to be someone at the data center.
Ooh, well, that's true.
I will assume that there's at least somebody at the data center those times.
That is true. And yeah, Gumsgang is saying yes, you can transfer a dead character off. So
Yeah.
I thought for sure I had read that
Yeah,
somewhere.
I was pretty
So, yeah.
sure they said that at the beginning. Was they
Yeah,
transfer a
so
dead character off?
maybe that's
but
what it was. It
keep
might
them
have
with
been.
it.
Yeah, it might have been during the Gen Con interview when they had said that. That might be.
That sounds about when I would have heard it. Yeah. So that's quite big coming on there. So you need to prepare for that if you are playing Hardcore League. But I sort of haven't played on there for a while, so I'm not going. I'll probably have to just go in there in December and make sure I clean out my shared bank.
Pine Leaf was the smart one. 5 and done.
5 and done. Yes, that's the way to do it.
That's pretty much what I did. After a certain point.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, after a certain point, you say, all right, fine, I'll just take 5, then get out of here. And if we're lucky, we'll be able to survive that long, yes. Then let's head into what's happening a little bit more sooner, a little bit and that is there will be a update 44 preview on Lamania at some point this week. And it looks like they're shooting for tomorrow as we are recording this because because they posted a date on the forums.
They did, yeah. Kokomo Jobo did post. They are going to do preview 1 of update 44, which is the Keep on the Borderlands. It is expected to open sometimes in the early afternoon Eastern Time of Tuesday, October the 29th, and it is going to remain open until sometimes in the late afternoon Eastern of Thursday, October the 31st. So they also planning like they normally do. There's going to be a dev event that is going to take place on Wednesday, October the 30th from 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. Eastern. Several members of the DDO team are going to be available in the game. You can collect feedback and get some questions answered on real time on Lamania. The first preview is going to contain some, but not all, of the features / changes that are expected to be included in Update 44. The preview is expected to contain the following. Big thing is going to be Keep on the Borderlands. 4 of the dungeons are going to be open. There are expected to be 8 total dungeons in the pack, but only 4 are planned available during preview 1. Going to be a new adventure area and a new public space. Of course, there's going to be new named loot. There will be mounts. There's also going to be some UI quality of life additions. A new side tab is going to be in the stats section of the character sheet that is going to display a wide variety of statistics. Have no idea what that means. Can't wait to check this out to see what wide variety of statistics they're going to show us.
Could it be something similar to what they do in Lotro?
Maybe.
What do they do in Lotro?
Well, in Lotro, they give you they tell you about your levels in certain things, like your levels of your mitigations and all sorts of things like that, which are derived from your basic stats and your level. but I think they're hidden in DDOs currently. Are they?
Well, not really. I mean,
Or do I just ignore all that stuff?
because you can see your MRR, and your PRR.
Yeah.
Can we
and
see our
so,
melee power?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I guess they're.
So that would.
What
that
do we
kills
have that we can't
hypothesis.
see?
I'm just trying to think. Is there anything that we have that we can't see on the character sheet, which I can't
Maybe it'll
think
be like
of.
an awesomeness ranking.
Maybe like a kill counter, like how many
Yes.
monsters
Well,
you've killed. Maybe
Hey,
I don't know.
if there's an awesomeness rating, I guess I have to be able to support negative numbers for mine.
Pardon me, -1 million. So.
Maybe it's stuff like outside of like I don't know, cooldowns for a change without having to use tag queries or.
Yeah, they didn't really say much about it, so I can't wait. I'm going to have to jump on the Mania and see what this is about. Also, the Adventure Compendium Heroic and Epic Quest levels will now be sorted. You can sort them how you see fit. That's exciting right there. And then some miscellaneous smaller features and, of course, the wonderful bug fixes as well. So that's what we got. So that'll be our first look at Keep in the Borderlands for the dungeons. We'll get to see the new loot, and we'll get to see the mounts. So exciting stuff. Once again, expected to come up early afternoon Eastern time on Tuesday, October the 29th. And then expected to end late afternoon of Thursday, October the 31st. Dev event Wednesday evening, October 30th, 8 to 10 p.m. So if you're listening live, it's in your future. If you're listening to the podcast version, depends when you download and listen to it. Because if you listen to it the day it comes out on Wednesday, you might still be in luck.
You might be able to get in a little bit in there. Have they announced the exact level ranges for the...
They have. Shoot, and I should have looked that up. It's the heroic level is going to be 1, and then the epic level is going to be 21 to 22.
21 to 22.
That's a nice epic range to add stuff to.
I thought so too, yes.
Yeah, because, so that means then that super high level character then that's getting up to near level 20, my Dragonborn might be able to do Keep on the Borderlands when...
Ooh, does that mean I can actually break out my level 20 character and play a character with you?
Oh, that's right, because because I'm at level 18 right now, and I'm hoping to get to 20 by the end of the year, since that was one of my goals for this year.
Well, there you go. See, we're going to start doing epic stuff? Really? Ooh. This is exciting news, folks. So yeah, but I think I like the heroic 1 to 2. That's nice because, Korthos.
Anything to avoid Korthos.
And then the epic 21 to 22, I kind of like because there's not a lot to pick from in that range. Well, I guess now that I say that, there is a lot, but it's like there's not a lot of newer stuff to do in that range. I can put it. I guess that's a better way to put it. Wouldn't you say, Bonnie?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, most of the stuff at that range. I mean, it's things like the Carnival. The Fearland Carnival is level 20.
Then you have the Evening Star stuff. That's 21.
Is that 21?
21, I think. Yeah.
And yeah, we've all done those like 50,000 times.
Right. So
I mean, the last lower level, like non-30 stuff was the what was that pack called? The one that had like the kind of a big deal and memory lapse and all those.
Yeah,
But those were like 23 and 24.
I can't think of the name of that quest back, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. So
those
it's
good
exciting.
Quests.
Yeah, they were. But it's just exciting to see something new in this level and
to not have it be level 30 or 28.
Okay. Oh yeah, I noticed someone in responding to the release notes said mounts.
Mounts? What are these mounts you speak of? That's right.
Oh well.
What are these mounts that you speak of?
let's head into the DDO Chronicle issue 356, where that doesn't look like the best place in the world to be.
No, that looks like somebody's about to get jumped on the Chronicle cover to this week.
Yeah.
We have community spotlights this week. Strim Tom has released part 2 of his video series about a Reaper difficulty. So check out what Strim Tom has to say about that. And this Extra Life thing is coming up. Team Stanley Stone Games is raising money along with somebody else. Hint, hint, maybe Bonnie Bew. Spoiler alert for later in the show.
Oh, that's me.
So we'll talk about Extra Life here in a little bit. There's also a new section of the Chronicle. It is called the Player Shout Out. Welcome to a new section of the DDO Chronicle where we're going to spotlight one of the player spotlights we receive every week. Do you know someone who makes DDO great? Let us know. This week we hear about Bearmondo Dragon. I had to
Is that
think of
your motto?
Okay, cool. Moto, that's what it is. My screen decided to like scroll down by itself, so all I got was dragon out of that.
Yes, but
Bearmodo Dragon. There we go.
Bearmageddon of the North.
Bearmageddon of the North. I like that. Not as cool as Gnomegeddon.
No, that's the coolest Mageddon.
Which I'm going to have to edit that sound clip in now because I didn't have it ready to play.
Oh!
Because, you know, you
Gnomes
have
are
to.
coming. They're coming for you.
There we go. We got it live.
Gnomes are coming. They're coming for you.
Also known as other forms of bear, is a class act and an asset to DDO and Standing Stone Games. I was only going to play for a few weeks, but he not only made the game more interesting and fun, he took me under his wing and showed me things I didn't know. He taught me about the different items, what various terminology was, what works with what and what doesn't. On a personal note, we chat about things not game related, and he's a valuable friend to me now. He literally opened up a whole new game for me, and I purchased a year-long subscription, found new enjoyment in the game, and I made a friend. So thanks, Bear and DDO. See ya out there.
Thanks, Bear.
So if you have a player you would like to nominate for the Player Spotlight, send an email to contact@Standing Stone Games with the subject line Player Spotlight. So that's kind of cool to like spotlight some of the players that are doing good things like Bear there. In a fan site news section, DDO Cast was talking Extra Life with guest Cordovan and Bonnie Bew.
That's me.
You can click over and watch that episode or give it a listen. And again, spoiler alert for just a little bit. Bonnie Bew's getting ready for her November 2nd and 3rd Extra Life Marathon. We'll leave it at that for now, though. We'll just keep you hanging for a moment. DDO stream features many different streamers playing DDO all throughout the week. Check out shows by Alex and Lynn, even DDO PL, and brighter days ahead tonight. There's also quite a few other streamers on Twitch playing DDO as well. Voodoo Spice, Drew Inspired, just to name a couple of the others, because I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the other two names. So we'll just go right on. And hey, you know what? There's people over on YouTube doing DDO videos as well. Dirty William, Donald Wilson, Evil Dragon, and Samus Garobo. You know what strikes me about this? I never thought about it until I was just reading it here in the Chronicle. For a game as old as DDO, there's a lot of people that stream and make videos about it still, which is awesome.
Well, seeing how even I do occasionally do some.
Right. Yeah, it's awesome at how many people are streaming and making videos or playing on YouTube. It's amazing to see with a game as old as what we have. We still love it, though. That's what's great. And the Chronicle Comment, of course, you knew this week was going to be about mounts. What mount should DDO bring into the game?
What mount should DDO? Well, it sounds like you guys already gave your answer.
Yeah, I gotta say we kind of spoiled our answers a little earlier in the mount,
I
discussion.
mean, owlbears are given, but I kind of want raptors. to go with
That
the Talenta Halflings.
that's my answer too.
Raptors. Let's see.
Because when Isle of Dread comes out, we need rideable dinosaurs.
Yep.
Well,
That's just
actually,
Eberron science.
Exactly.
I guess in a way they even fit in Sharn, but not that.
Yeah,
But not there isn't a real wilderness area in Sharn though. So
But they've already got little raptors all animated up.
yeah,
right.
they
Just
already have.
just make them mountable and rideable.
Yeah.
Problem solved. There you go.
Yeehaw!
Well, I guess it just reminds me too much of WoW. I think where they're one of the races I believe rides raptors. Is it the trolls who ride raptors? I forgot who rides the raptors. It's been a bit while since I've played WoW. It's been what 10, 11 years, 11 years at least.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I never played WoW, so I don't know.
Yeah. So let's see. So what?
I'm sure somebody's screaming at their player right now. It's this, you dummies.
Yes, I'm trying to think of I suppose that writing something exotic like hippogriffs would be anything that flies, because I'm sure that will really be an annoyance to the rendering engine if people are flying.
Probably, but it would be cool to fly on a griffin.
It would be cool to
Yeah.
fly.
Yes. Well, let's see.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure the tech. Not sure the engine could handle that, but that would be amazing.
That would be a bit amazing.
And of course,
Then-
Gumsgang said a beholder earlier. I don't know if he has another answer for it, but a beholder would kind of be fun too to ride, though.
I kind of would like one of those sea lions for underwater as an underwater mountain.
Oh,
Mount.
yeah. Oh, see, I didn't even think about underwater mounts.
But that would really only be useful. Let me Three Barrel Cove.
True. Very situational, the underwater mounts. But
Yeah, very situational. And most of the underwater times are in actual quest areas as opposed to wilderness areas.
yeah, well, that's true.
Which will
Give us a baby shark.
a baby shark.
I'm not even going to go there. We're just going to move on before somebody sings a song.
Well-
Screenshot of the week.
I just say, let's avoid. I just hope it's not goats.
Oh, you don't want a war goat, Pine Leaf? No war goat for Pine Leaf in DDO? Come on.
Let us just say I have enough of goat mounts in Lotro.
Gumsgang says he wants a giant eagle just to make all the Lotro players jealous.
Oh yeah.
See, that's right. All they needed was an eagle, and that trip to Mount Doom would have been way easy.
Well, you saw workshops
Yes, I did. Yes.
answer
Yes.
to that one.
I did. Yes. I might have to link that in the show notes just so people, if you haven't seen that, just see what we're
Yes,
talking about.
yes. Yeah. Eagle mounts do not necessarily work. I still trying to think which one I do. Maybe I will have to go with the. I'm trying to think what other wildlife do we have in.
If you sit and you think about it, there's quite a bit of stuff they can do.
Yeah, because raptors, I get the impression they just don't fit in. Well, actually, I would think raptors would actually fit into into the Storm Reach area a bit, but we've never run into any there. Is it that they really don't exist in that area, or
Not really. They were more elsewhere.
they're more elsewhere?
I mean, there's, we're not saying they couldn't live or exist there. They're just not commonly known
They're
there.
not commonly known. Yes,
Most of your dinosaur creatures are going to be from the Isle of Dread. That's where most of the dinosaurs came from.
Aha.
That and Scholt.
Yeah.
And then
And
most likely then
Corvair.
all those raptors.
Oh, yeah.
All those raptors you run into them were probably captured from the Isle of Dread and brought over by some group or something like that.
More than likely, yeah. That would be a good explanation for why there's a lot of raptors in Sharn, probably.
Yeah, so they were probably brought there specifically and rather than
From
part of the
the
ecosystem.
Talenta Plains, that area to the east of Corvair, where halflings roam, they're known for riding raptors around. So that's where a lot of the raptors will come from.
Ooh, now some people or say this one's strange is if this is only if this worked as it did as it does in Minecraft. What would be really great would be donkeys. You say, why would donkeys be great? See, in Minecraft, donkeys have the ability to carry extra storage, so they could also be used in. They're not the swiftest mounts, but the extra storage, so they're more like pack. Actually, just even a pack horse, I guess, would work. In other words, a mount that's optimized for carrying extra stuff
That would totally be worth it.
and over speed. So yes, because I'm sure the original ones aren't going to have any saddlebags or anything like that. But I would say something that's optimized for saddlebags.
I like where you're going with that, actually. That I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that option either. But yeah, see, that would be cool too, though. See,
Yeah.
there's so many possibilities with mounts. They've opened up just so many ideas and things that we could do with this.
Yes. Now all they have to do is have the player base and happy enough about this that they say, oh, maybe we could spend some time doing this, as opposed to the groaners right now who are on the farms saying,
Well,
55% of them say we don't want mounts.
Well, forums. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I know.
Forums.
And to wrap up our chronicle, let's hit our screenshot of the week. The Guild Monster Ops neutralization looks epic in their Reaper armor in the 437th DDO screenshot of the week. That is a pretty cool shot. That is, if you're not familiar with what that is all the Night Rebels Reaper armors that you can get.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where they took the screenshot, though, because I do not recognize that door whatsoever. It's definitely a quest because it's got the little swirly thing, so it's an entrance to a dungeon of some type. But I can't think of where you get the purple sky and you see the moon at the same time like that.
That is weird, because that's like a Maybar sky, I think.
Yeah, kind of it is.
So that would suggest to me it's in House Durasco. On that ramp where Blossom is, but I don't remember it having a little.
I don't remember that having the thing either, but I'll have to look. But cool screenshot nonetheless. But yes, that has and so if you haven't seen what the new purple armor looks like this year for Night Rebels, check out the screenshot of the week.
With all the colors, they look like Power Rangers.
They kind of do. I didn't think about that. We just need pink and we're all set.
We just need pink.
Well, you can't leave out the Pink Ranger. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, let's head into our store sales. Draculato, what's on sale this week?
We can get a boost this week. It's a 25% off. Sovereign XP elixirs, Treasure Hunter elixirs, Greater Slayer boost, long-lasting supreme ability potions. Those are on sale 25% off, as I said, through October the 31st. Omni Spell Dust times 50. Use the coupon code DUSTME. Also through October the 31st.
Then let's have a little talk with Bonnie Bew about Extra Life, because we all want to know what she's up to, right?
I hope so. Because you're going to find out.
That's why she's here.
So I think pretty much anybody listening should know what Extra Life is by now. But if you don't, Extra Life is something that goes on. The official gameplay weekend is going to be this weekend, November 2nd and 3rd. And it's where people who stream on Twitch, gamers, try to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network of hospitals to help sick kids. Standing Stone Games has run a team for many years in the past, as has Wizard of the Coast. Standing Stone Games raising money for Boston Children's Hospital, and they did a marathon stream last weekend. And this weekend, I'm going to play, and I'm going to Dungeon Master a D&D game, 5e, set in Eberron loosely. Well, not loosely this time around. But this time around is very deliberately, because the game I'm going to DM is going to be a mashup between the 80s classic Weekend at Bernie's and the Dungeons & Dragons Online quest Tomb of Ryum. It's called Weekend at the Wizard Kings.
It's amazing to me. My only question is, Pineleaf got one pop culture reference earlier in the show. Do you get the Weekend at Bernie's reference?
The Weekend at Bernie's?
Didn't think so.
Yeah, that's a no.
That would be a no. So we're 1 for 2.
I even
Gotcha.
rewatched Weekend at Bernie's for this effort, and it wasn't that good.
Yeah, it doesn't hold up. It's not as
It
because
does
I just
not hold
watched
up.
it. I
It
watched
is
it
not-
a couple months ago actually, and it's like, yeah, it doesn't hold up as well as I remembered it.
It's not like Big Trouble in Little China. Which
Classic.
the previous adventures that I've done with this group, the first one was based on The Hangover, a movie from the early 2000s. The second one was based on Big Trouble at Little China, and this one is Weekend at Bernie's. So there's kind of like a movie theme going on here. The players are going to be Vaughn and Thulgrin from Orion server, or Orion, if you say it that way. Also, Grimord and Rach from Sarlona, and Kim from No Server from Waterdeep Dragon Heist
Poor Kim,
from our
yes.
Waterdeep Dragon Heist game, and they're a crazy bunch. If you go to my Extra Life donations page, which you can find a link to it by going to my Twitter profile. So that's like twitter.com/Bonnie Bew. And you'll find links to all sorts of things, to my Twitch channel, to my YouTube channel, and to my donations page. And there you'll see you can donate for different things that will affect this game this weekend. Some of them kind of have a deadline, because some of them are, if you get to pick specific like NPCs that show up, the encounters that the party has, you can specify what kind of creature they run into, or you can a NPC in a group of adventurers that the party runs into can be based on one of your characters, whether it's a tabletop character or a DDO character. It wouldn't necessarily be specific, but I want, like, just enough hooks and stuff so I can like represent who your character is, or maybe an item from DDO that they might actually carry that might show up in the game, that kind of stuff. You can also donate to the spells that the party has access to, which is an interesting thing, because this adventure, the party they're level 7, and they are in the Tomb of Ryum, which is a level 12 quest.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
So they kind of need all the spells that people can donate to them. Because the things that I have planned, if nobody specifies alternate encounters, are going to be interesting.
And your definition of interesting, of course.
But yes, you can go to my page, check it out. Cause Havoc. Donate some money, and I'm raising money for Duke Children's Hospital, which is very important to me. My niece has been a patient there many times this past year for a heart condition, in fact, just last week. So I would love to do what I can to help the kids that seek treatment there, and have some fun playing D&D.
2 great things right there. I'm still trying to imagine this Weekend at Bernie's and Tomb of Ryum. I can't wait to watch this. This is going to be amazing.
Oh, maybe I should say when it is.
Well, yeah.
This
Minor
weekend.
detail.
It's on my channel, twitch.tv/Bonnie Bew, and we'll be playing Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give or take any confusion, because it's Daylight Savings Time weekend.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So
if
your
we,
time
if we
may
somehow
vary.
start an hour late, it's because everybody got their clocks wrong. And plus, we're playing from 2 different continents. Grim and Rach are in the UK, and they had daylight savings time last weekend. And
Oh dear.
and the rest of us are in the US or Canada, and it'll be, I don't even know what happens in Canada. For all I know,
Well, they follow
Vaughn
the
is
U.S.
out on.
Canada follows the U.S. rules.
Okay. I didn't know, like, because I think he's like in Northwest Territories, or like the boonies of Canada or something. They might not even, might be one of those places like in the U.S. There's some places that don't do it,
Yeah,
but it should be
Northwest
interesting.
Territories. That sounds.
Maybe
boonies,
I'll
all
have
right.
players this weekend. It could happen. It might not.
Not, it's going to be real interesting.
It should be interesting.
Yeah, and we'll have a link in the show notes to Bonnie's Twitter, her Twitch, her Extra Life page, all of that stuff. So pretty awesome. And she, as we record this, you are at $245 of your
Yes,
$500
so I'm
goal.
about
So
halfway to
yeah,
my goal.
that's awesome. So I'm sure when you go live, you'll hit that goal in no time.
Here's hoping.
Because one thing I've learned, DDO players and Dungeons and Dragons players are pretty generous people when it comes to Extra Life in a lot of the other charities out there. So we'll get you to that $500 goal, no doubt.
Yay! DDO people. And,
And then
Dungeons Dragons people.
and once again, that is Saturday and Sunday, November the 2nd and the 3rd from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern, give or take weird time zones.
Give or take weird time zones.
Again, it's all timey-wimey.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll have links to all of that in the show notes, so you can just go over to the site, check out the show notes, and just click on the links, and it'll take you right to the page.
Now let's see what's coming in from the dungeon. Where there will be a Chicago by Night source book for Vampire the Masquerade 5e coming this January.
Yes, and this was after the successful Kickstarter that they did. Onyx Path Publishing did say the Kickstarter was successful. They decided, let's put this out into the public. So if you were not part of the Kickstarter, you can get it at your friendly local game store and online sources this January. Of course, for the new edition of Vampire the Masquerade 5e. It is based off the classic Chicago by Night. The new edition promises to include everything the storyteller needs to bring the Windy City to life, or unlife, however you want to put it, for all of your undead adventuring pleasure. A hardcover is 240 pages. Will arrive in stores in January. $45 MSRP on that. I know back in the day, when I was playing Vampire the Masquerade, had a weekly game that I was playing. The storyteller that was running the game I was in, we did Chicago by Night for about a year. So I love this adventure. It is so much fun, especially if you're a fan of the city of Chicago. Just think you're in Chicago. It's all the intrigue and everything about Vampire the Masquerade, but it takes place in Chicago and so much more on top of that. So pretty cool to see this being ported over to Vampire the Masquerade 5e. And glad to see this go retail, because I know at the time of the Kickstarter for this, they actually weren't sure if it was going to go into retail. They never actually, specifically stated that, no, the Kickstarter is going to be the only way to get this. They just said they weren't sure at that point if it would ever go to retail. So I'm glad to see the Onyx Path Publishing decided to do this. So check us out in January, Chicago by Night.
Ooh. Oh, I got an email today. If people sponsored the Kickstarter for Fantasy Grounds Unity and got the beta access, I think beta access came out today because I got an email about it.
Oh, really? Sweet.
So if you have gotten if you sponsored a beta copy of Fantasy Grounds Unity, go check your email, because there's like a link to download and test away. I'm not going to be using it this weekend, I'll tell you that much.
That's what I was about to ask. And are you going to use that
I'm
this
not
weekend?
that brave.
I probably don't blame you there.
But maybe for some casual gaming, some casual tabletop.
Let's then head and see what's coming in on the tabletop. Speaking of tabletops here. Where Kapow! The dice game coming from White Wizards Game.
Kapow, that's just fun to say. This is a buildable dice game. It's going to allow players to add and remove dice spaces. This is a superhero game. The game was initially launched via Kickstarter a couple years ago. Very successful Kickstarter. White Wizards Games has acquired it, and they are going to reprint it and also do an expansion to it. As I said, it's a superhero game, which I bet you couldn't have guessed from the name Kapow. Each role is going to determine how a player is going to be able to attack, defend, and power up their characters based on where they place their dice. Battles will become explosive with each roll as players gain more dice and dice faces. It's a 2 to 4 player game, ages 8 and up. Plays in about 60 minutes. No exact release date nor retail price was announced. But that is Kapow, the superhero dice game coming from White Wizard. I remember when this Kickstarter came out, this game did look pretty cool. I didn't back the Kickstarter, but I kept watching it and it looked really good. And I think from what I remember, most of the reviews or whatever I've seen on it was really, really positive on it. So we'll see. They didn't say, and I did email them, but I didn't hear back from them yet, if they're going to change anything with the game or it's going to be, it sounded like it was just going to be a straight reprint and then they are going to do some expansions for it as well. So White Wizard's going all in on it, but it looks pretty sweet though. It looks pretty interesting.
It's cool that it makes a game that was previously specifically available again. It's like that thing with sometimes when you miss a Kickstarter and you never get access to that cool thing.
Right, exactly, yeah. And this was one that was Kickstarter only at the time. It was from, I wish I could remember, I'd have to look it up now, the company that did it. It's a really small, tiny company that did it, which I think they actually went out of business, unfortunately. This might have been the only game they ever did. And then somehow White Wizard got the rights to it, which is a good thing because, like you said, now more people are going to be able to check it out.
Head on and find out what's on the comic page.
Ooh, we have a new section of the show.
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm just trying to figure out how. I would presume then this is the likeness of Bela Lugosi that's going to be here because I can't see Bela unless he's going to come up from the dead. But
well, he might.
Well, yeah, we are talking about Bela Lugosi here, I guess. Bela Lugosi returns as Dracula in a new graphic novel.
Yep, this is coming from Legendary Comics. They are teaming up with the Lugosi estate to develop a brand new graphic novel for Bram Stoker's Dracula. It is going to feature the likeness of Lugosi as Dracula as he reprises his role, shall we say, from the classic horror movie. Bram Stoker's Dracula, starring Bela Lugosi, is a direct adaptation of the original work, which is also going to feature several of the characters to the Vampire's Prince's mythology, including Van Helsing, of course, Mina Harker, and Lucy Westerton. This is approved by the Bela Lugosi estate. Lynn Lugosi, Sparks, who is the granddaughter of Bela, says Bela Lugosi created a unique portrayal of Count Dracula on the Broadway stage and then the movies. He has become a cultural icon for his performance in the 1931 film. This graphic novel beautifully answers the question, what would Lugosi's performance look like in a direct interpretation of Bram Stoker's novel? We believe Legendary Comics has proven what fans already know, Bela Lugosi is Dracula. So this is awesome. Can't wait for this. The book is targeted to release fall of 2020. No MSRP was available at the time I got the press release on this. Hopefully we'll find out about that and we'll let you know. But this is pretty cool. And this is the first time the Lugosi estate has let his likeness be used in a comic book. Ooh. There has been other people that wanted to do it, but they always told them no. So that they felt like this one, since it was a direct interpretation of the novel, I guess they felt that it just worked right and it seemed right because, I mean, I guess it depends how you look at the whole vampire myth and Dracula myth.
Right.
When I think Dracula, I think Bela Lugosi because that is Dracula to me. Christopher Lee being a close second. And I know that's fighting words to some people. I mean, don't get me wrong. Christopher Lee's Dracula in the Hammer films were amazing, but for a totally different reason and way. I think Lugosi embodied what Dracula was in the book. So if you're going by the book, the source material, Bela Lugosi is Dracula to me in that way. Now, if you're talking movies, Christopher Lee all the way. Hands down, best Dracula in the movies, hands down. But this is awesome, so look for this. Bram Stoker's Dracula starring Bela Lugosi coming from Legendary Comics. Because I said 2020 release date for the fall. My guess is probably around Halloween, I would think. Would only make sense. No MSRP. I'm guessing probably $39.95, $49.95. That's what most of these hardcover graphic novels usually are. So I would assume right around that price range. But we'll see.
We shall see. Then let's head into what's on the screen. Where Asmodee Digital announces Blood Rage and a Game of Thrones the board game with digital editions.
I am so excited about Blood Rage. I love Blood Rage. Love that board game. Pain in the butt to set up. You need a lot of people. So this is just going to be amazing. I can't wait for this. I've never played the Game of Thrones board game, so I can't speak to that. I know a lot of people like it. Then again, I think it's got quite the setup time on it as well.
Oh, I wonder why.
Well, yeah. The digital adaptation of the Viking board game Blood Rage, of course, by Mr. Eric M. Lang, is going to be released on PC, Steam in 2020. The hit board game originally was released by Comment, ranked 30th with an 8 out of 10 ranking on Board Game Geek. And I think it's still up there on Board Game. I haven't looked on Board Game Geek's hot listing yet, but I know Blood Rage is always right around in the upper echelon. It used to be a lot higher than it is, but in the digital edition, each player is going to control a Viking clan, I should say, among 7 with its own warriors, leaders, and ships. Draft the best cards and use them to get advantage in battle. You can raid lands, fulfill quests, and upgrade your units and lead your clan to victory. The original miniatures from the board game have been digitized into 3D animated units using high-res don't even know what that word is. Photogrammetry? That just seems like a made-up word to me.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. It sounds amazing, though.
It involves light, I bet.
Leveraging
yeah.
100 pictures for each unit is what it took to create the 3D animated unit. So it sounds awesome, but I don't know what it is. And it sounds complicated and very time-consuming. This will support solo and up to 4 players. There will be multiplayer online, 30 to 60 minutes. The main mechanics, of course, are card drafting, area occupation, movement, hidden action quest, and unit upgrades. Also scheduled for about the same time is the Game of Thrones board game based on the best-selling A Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. This too is solo, up to 6 players, online, 60 to 120 minutes, social strategy. You can really betray people in this. But of course it's Game of Thrones, so of course you would. They did use the same big fancy photo word to get all the miniatures and stuff out of the Game of Thrones game as well too. So look for these both coming to Steam fall of 2020. No MSRPs on them. Usually, I think most of the Asmodee games, I want to say they're about $20 to $25 maybe when they come out, something like that. I'm trying to think of what Gloomhaven was when it just came out. Seems like it was like $24.99 or something. So I would assume that's about what these are going to be. And this, if you're curious, if you're familiar with the Game of Thrones, this is based off the second edition game and not the first. As I said, I've never played the Game of Thrones board game, so I don't know the difference between the first and the second edition, but can't help you. I'm just excited for Blood Rage.
Okay. You're excited for Blood Rage. Anyone excited for Game of Thrones?
Not
really.
anymore.
I mean,
Oh, well.
no, not really, not so much.
If it had been a year ago, I would have been excited.
Yeah, they should have did this when the show was still on, I think. I mean, I'm sure like the hardcore Game of Thrones board game fans are going to be all over this because I hear it's an amazing game. Like I said, I've just never personally played it, so I'm not that like jump up and down excited for it. Now, Blood Rage, heck yeah, I'm super excited for that. Especially the solo option that I can play it solo. That's going to be amazing to me. And no setup, which is going to be even cooler.
Oh yeah, no setup.
Maybe that will be exciting because there are other games that in digital versions that I found really like full of rejoicing because of not having setup.
I know that's the best part of digital adaptations of board
And
games
the
is
solo
like you
version, yeah.
you don't have to set stuff up and you can play solo a lot easier than you can some board games, and yeah, it's just amazing.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
You've got a good point on that matter. Then let's head out into our weekend gaming. And Dracula, what have you been up to?
Played hardcore.
What?
Made it to level 5 with the help of course, Myth and I were playing, and then the rest of the damsels roped me in. They took me under their wings, as it were. They got me to level 5, and now I wipe my hands of this hardcore madness. I'm done. I'm at level 5.
Out of your hair, yes.
It's dead to you.
Yes, it is dead to me, exactly. At least I can say for this 2-month journey I've been on, at least I made the Chronicle.
At least you made the Chronicle.
I didn't get my 1750. I didn't get my eyes, which is what I really wanted. I'm still kind of bummed I didn't get that. But, you know, at least I have one thing to show for this.
At least you have one thing to show.
And I will link the link. We actually did this. This was Damsel's Twitch weekend, and we actually ended up twitching this, actually. So you can watch that over on the DDO stream Twitch. I'll link it in the show notes. And then after we got done with that, we decided to do a little bit of the Night Rebels. So we did the graveyard. We ran around the graveyard quest, got enough keys to get in. We did the Hayweird Foundry quest. We were doing that at level 22, I think, I want to say. And that was kind of interesting. I don't want to spoil it too much just because of what happened. But let's just say these are characters that none of us had played for a long time. Hilariousness ensued when we tried to figure out, what's this button do? What's this skill for? Oh, yeah, this does that. So, yeah. It was interesting, we'll say it that. But, of course, anytime you're running with the damsels, it's interesting somehow. And then that was it for DDO, actually. Didn't play a lot of DDO, but like I said, I'm done with hardcore now. So now I can die all I want, and it doesn't matter, so it's fine.
Go to a server where you're allowed to die.
That's right. Elsewhere, Dungeon Dragons 5e, we did the 5th part of Out of the Abyss. That is over on D&D Night on DDO stream. We got ourselves into a little pickle. Let's just say, see, I don't want to spoil it too much because it was epic at the end. If you're familiar with the Out of the Abyss storyline, you know a lot of the demon lords are gathering. Let's just say we found one of them, and he's not very happy with us.
He's not?
But this one you can't blame on me. This is not my fault. Now, I will admit, I got us into this whole Out of the Abyss deal by pissing off Orcus, which I still stand by my actions against Orcus. But I had nothing to do with this new demon lord that is now ready to, like, kill us horribly.
Whose fault is it?
It's not ours. It was the monsters that were doing bad things and summoned him. We'll leave it at that. Not my fault. I take no responsibility for, and I'm not even going to say his name because you have to watch the stream because it's pretty epic when we find out who it is. And it was kind of funny how we found out who it is because we needed a religion roll because we went into this place and we seen this like altar that these people built for him. And we needed a religion roll, and in the party, I'm the one with the highest religion because, well, you know, warlock. Or, I'm sorry, special wizard. and I rolled like a 18 or something. I think I rolled really high, and like Beaker was like, well, with Drax's special wizard training, he knows exactly who this is. And I'm like, yeah, special wizard, that's me.
Special wizard.
I'm a special wizard. I'm not a warlock, special wizard. Just remember that. So that was a really fun game. So that was it. Elsewhere, I did play some video games, but sadly, I can't talk about it.
You can't.
Not yet.
Top secret.
Soon, I will be able to talk about it. It's on the Xbox One. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Coming soon, and it involves more than just a video game. It actually involves a peripheral for the Xbox One. 2 of them, to be exact. We'll talk about that soon when I'm allowed to. I got to see when the embargo lifts, but I know it's still on, so that's all I can say. Pretty cool, though. I'll spoil the review somewhat. I enjoy it. But
Okay.
that's it. So how about you, Bonnie? What were you up to? I see you pulled a me, I think, actually.
I wrote in big letters, I did nothing. Well, I did do one little thing. It was a really busy week last week, so I did next to nothing, and I had games canceled and things like that. But I did play in Even Notes Kobold Kindergarten D&D game for like an hour before I had to go to sleep. So I got a little taste of D&D last week.
So that's
all I did.
a little bit.
1 hour.
And I forgot when we were talking about your actual life, I was going to talk about the Waterdeep Dragon Heist that we're playing together. If I'm sure most of the people listening to the show are probably watching that.
And how you're not a dwarf.
That's right. I'm not a dwarf. I'm a drow. And how Bonnie is always mean to me in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm a force for law and order. Part of the City Watch. Personal pride of beans. Yeah. And your character is not. Well, there's that whole thing where everybody got deputized and you got a special medal for...
I killed an undead beholder.
Yeah.
I'm a hero in the eyes of Waterdeep.
But they made being a lieutenant, so they pretty much are free and easy with rewards in this town.
I was going to say, but yet you still call me a criminal. Or convict, I'm sorry. Convict is what you call me. Just because I got arrested one time. You arrested me one time.
One time.
And now forever, I'm a convict in your eyes. Come on now.
Well, were you actually convicted?
No.
In which case, you can't be a convict unless you've been convicted.
That's what I tried to explain to her, but she's not listening to me. But I think Bean's kind of warming up to Draven a little bit, I think.
A little bit. I think because of the whole Malarican scenario and being a Dwarven princess now, it's kind of expanded her problem list to a degree where, you know, you're not like the biggest problem.
Is that what it is?
And it's more like she started out feeling responsibility to just Waterdeep, being part of the City Watch. She just wanted to, you know, uphold the law and protect and serve the city. But now there's just more problems, more stuff to protect, more. Ignis has fire spells like fireball now, I think. So
Yeah, I
that's a
think so.
whole headache.
Gonna say that's gonna be a whole thing now. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And if you want to check this game out, we are going to be normally we're like a special edition to the D&D night we run over on Evil Beaker's channel. But I do know this Sunday night over on D&D Night on DDO stream, one of our older episodes is going to play because Alex, who normally does this weekend of D&D Night, can't run his game. So we're going to play our video, and it happens to be the one that we talked about a little earlier, where I get my hand chopped off.
it is a pretty awesome episode.
It is. I think it's one of our better episodes. And we've been playing this game. We figured out, was it last week that we figured out, or last time we played, that we've been playing this game for a year now. Which is awesomely awesome in itself.
And we're just coming to the end of the Waterdeep Dragon Heist content. I think the episode that's replaying was kind of like a kind of a climax, or maybe it was the episode maybe 2 episodes ago. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember either. It all kind of runs together because we record these and then show them. So yeah.
And I think our next new episode is what, the 22nd?
22nd, I think. Yeah, 22nd of November. Yeah, we're going to go into Xanathar's lair.
We're already in there, and we're already in trouble.
Not going to go wrong. Oh, that's right. We did actually make it to the lair, and we went the total opposite way that we should have, and we tipped off basically the whole dungeon.
The absolute worst way. We went that way. That was
we
our
have
way.
red dungeon alert if you want to do it in DDO terms. So It's going to be an interesting fight because we have to fight our way through many, many, many people now. But nothing could go wrong being in a beholder's lair, right?
I'm sure
nothing
it'll
at all.
be fine.
Absolutely nothing. It's not like they can see you very easily.
What could go wrong? So check that out Sunday night over on D&D Night on DDO stream. It's one of, I think that episode was maybe 3 episodes ago. I don't know. Like I said, we've done so many of these, it kind of runs together. But that is a really, really fun game. I talked about it on here before, but this is the first time Bonnie's actually been on. It's just kind of funny. And if you watch it from like the first episode up until now, you can kind of see how the whole Bean and Draven dynamic has changed. Mm-hmm. And like I said, Bean's kind of shining to me a little bit, I think.
She's not such a stickler as she was at the beginning.
She is not. How about you, Pine Leaf? What were you up to? A lot, as always, I see.
I will begin with my Dragonborn Artificer. And I made a second attempt at Soul Survivor, which was pretty much a failure. I decided to do things slightly differently. This time I thought, let's see if I could go to the room which was causing an alarm that was annoying me and go there first, and that didn't help me, especially when I get there it says, oh, this is my itinerary, and on this day I'm there, on this day that I'm here, and I'm trying to remember what day is it again that said at the beginning. Do I have to go all the way to the beginning of the dungeon to check the calendar?
Oh no.
Because I thought that calendar that they had at the beginning was just dressing. I didn't realize you needed it later for the adventure. So I thought, all right, let me see if I remembered properly. So I tried to do something based on that, or did something as a guess, and let's just say the wrong answer does not give you a happy time. So I did. So that was another failure onto there. But they did tell me, okay, additional stuff on this little thing. So then I decided, all right, let's go to the realms. So I went and finished up the Druid's Curse, where the saga reward, one of the saga rewards that was available, was a named rune arm. So, of course, being an artificer, you can guess what I took.
The longsword.
No, of course not. Of course I took the rune arm. So now I have a rune arm that can actually go up to tier 4 because I've been using one because I was level 18 and finally got a tier 4 rune arm.
Nice.
And then I went up to the high road and ran detour trying to escort John Cleese or around or whoever that was.
That about sums that guy up.
Pretty much sums that. He pretty much sounds like John Cleese at the least.
Yeah, he does,
Because
actually.
that's very good. Because I'm going through, why does this guy sound like Sir Cadwell? Yeah, of course, yeah, Sir Cadwell was played. No, the problem with DDO, you have a hard time trying to figure out who the voice actors are sometimes because there is no centralized list
Yeah, I
of
used
voice
to.
actors for DD. Like other games tend to have it. Like even IMDb does not have an entry for Dungeons and Dragons Online.
Really?
Why?
Well, that's interesting.
That is strange. ESO
I have.
and World of Warcraft have entries.
I have a list somewhere.
And in fact, so therefore, the people I'm talking about, like for example, Cindy Robinson, she's associated with she has a lot of game listing there, but no, she doesn't have Dungeons and Dragons Online in her credits list because there's no entry for Dungeons and Dragons Online.
Well, we're going to have to rectify that somehow.
Yeah.
But no, I have a list somewhere, or I used to, that lists most of the voice because I know who most of them are. I'll see if I can dig that list up. And I can't even remember how I found that out. But I do have a list. I will see if I can find that. And we are going to make it our life's mission now to get DDO in IMDb.
Right in.
Yes, because I think it deserves to be there with all the voice acting. And if we do that, then we also try to get Cordovan in there, right?
Well, technically he's a voice actor now, so... The soothing, delicate tones of Cordovan.
And Tolero.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Tolero did one too. You're right. Yep, we need to make this happen now.
Then I teamed up with you where we did our Heaven and Hell series with, actually, your...
Well, it was kind of Heaven and Hell.
Yes.
But it wasn't officially Heaven and Hell because we didn't Twitch it, but yeah.
Right. So we first ran the offshore account.
Which was fun. I like that quest.
Yeah, that was a fun little quest there.
Fun quest.
Then that was followed by our attempt together with Soul Survivor, where, of course, Drek was here to prove how I was doing it completely wrong and that with 2, it actually works, even though my soloing attempt was a complete failure both the times.
Which my opinion of Soul Survivor sucks ass.
Yes, he's still getting my opinion on the matter. This did go better than solo, and this is where I learned that when I went to the library before, I completely missed that there was somebody you had to fight in there because you had to talk to the person before you fight them. And I never talked to the person, so I never had the fight, and that actually tells you where you need to go for the adventure. I thought, oh, now we find out. So we went down there, went to the next area, which was a lot easier to do because because even though the alarm was still sounding, you didn't have all the security guards popping up since it was a area that was generally off limits in there. So I figured out how to get through that. That's right. I think I found the door on my second run in there. It was just that I couldn't go through it because I didn't have the passcode because you had to talk to the librarian to get the passcode and all that. So we went in there, got through there, cleared out that under area there, got to the boss room, and she's tough.
That Titan in that quest.
Oh yeah, the Titan, yes.
Is ridiculous.
Yes, ridiculous.
It does some, which I don't even know what it does. It wiped out all of our hirelings. I was down to like 10 hit points. I think Pineleaf didn't get hit by it because I don't think you were in its line area of effect or whatever.
I think I did go down about 3/4 at least.
Oh, did you? Okay. But I know, but it's like it's instantly wiped out because we had 3 hirelings with us because I had 2 and you had 1, I think. It wiped out insta-killed all of the hirelings. So that meant our 2 clerics were down.
Yep.
It almost insta-killed me. I don't know what the heck that thing hits you with, but it's insane.
Yeah.
So then I managed to somehow heal myself back up to full health. I had enough potions with me. And we did manage to actually take down the Titan, but then we had the boss, and then the boss brings in a bunch of ads, and then we were just party wipe. Pine Leaf and I were just done. We were just done.
Yeah.
It's insane. That quest is insane.
After that, Drac said, maybe we'll come back next time we do this. We'll go in there in casual mode just to finish it off. And
smoking jackets and smooth jazz for the
right.
win.
And you know that when Drac suggests casual.
Yeah, exactly. When I say let's run something on casual, you know I'm done with the quest.
Yes. Which
because I would actually like to finish it, but
right.
Oh my god.
And of course that did give me an idea, and I thus went in and reran Soul Survivor. So this was my third solo attempt on there, and that time I went in as casual. I took the route that I took with Drac and decided, okay, I'll forget about the stupid security alarm and all those side quests and everything like that. I'll just go through there, fight the librarian, talk to the librarian, go down into the no access area, cleared out all of that area, got to the boss. And now gotta remember is I'm recording this thing because I'm going to be posting it later on this week. And I get ready to go into the boss fight. I'm at the verge of going into there right at the end of the second episode. So now I'm trying to think, do I try to fit the boss fight to the end of the second episode, or do I create a whole new episode? I decided let's create a whole new episode because there's probably some cleanup to do afterwards and all that stuff.
Right.
It could be a long fight. Therefore, I decided, all right, I'll create a third episode for that. I went into there, got in there, fought the boss, which was, of course, a whole lot easier being in casual, thankfully. And I survived that little mess. And then came the puzzle in which because after you kill the boss, you have this big puzzle to complete.
Oh, great. I didn't know there was a puzzle.
Oh, yeah, that room is one big puzzle, which you have to do.
Great.
Because you have to release all the souls.
Oh, well.
So
you're up, Pineleaf.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got practice with it.
Yeah, I got practice with that on there. And in fact, the whole thing that there was one section where we met somebody that we ran into in an earlier adventure, if you recall.
Okay.
Yes. And what we did with her was almost a little bit of a hint of what we've got to do after this point.
Oh, okay. Okay. I know what you're talking about now.
Right.
Gotcha.
So I went all into that. And then after you solve that puzzle, you have the puzzle of releasing the souls. You then have another puzzle because let's just say there's a little bit of a situation with Doris because of what we did earlier. So once we solve the thing and satisfy Doris, then we have to do the usual thing, break what we can and get out. And that took an entire episode length in order to do the boss fight all the way up to getting out of there. Took an entire 20-minute episode to do. So it's a good thing I started a new episode.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Whoa. And I still feel like Doris is never truly satisfied.
Oh no, believe me, you do something at the end that really satisfies Doris.
Amazing.
Yes, amazing.
Oh,
yes. I think she is more than satisfied with the ending there. Then after all that, I also ran, of course, Mage Rage, the Mage Rage for October for weeks 3 and 4 in Minecraft. So that sort of finishes up the Halloween month for Mage Rage and running into all sorts of Halloween monsters during the course of that one. Whee! Oh, yes. And of course, there's tabletop. I can't forget the tabletop. I ran a game of Bethel Woods because it's been a little while since I ran Bethel Woods. So I played that and I ran out of time as I was playing on that one. I think if I had one extra, one of those games where if you had just one more turn, you might have been able to satisfy the victory conditions, but nope, that didn't happen there. Then I tried a game of Friday, and since I hadn't played Friday in a while, I decided to drop back down to level 2, and obviously I'm rusty in Friday because despite the fact that I only played in a level 2, and most of my recent level 2 runs were wins, I was just obliterated. Oh well. Then I played Helionox, so I'm sort of playing a lot of games that hadn't been played in a while here. Then Nautilian, and then finally Tiny Epic Galaxy, where first I played the base game, and then I played the game with the Beyond the Black expansion. Then finally in tabletop apps, I played Onirim. I first played a couple of them with Dead Ends and Crossroads, but it looked like it was set to use a variant that was pretty. The extra hard variant apparently was set on there. I don't know whether that was accidentally, if I did that on purpose or what, but yeah, that proved to be a bit tough for me in order to do that. And then I decided, all right, I'll do it nice and relaxing and just play the basic game. And I think I might have pretty much figured out how to win in the basic game because I just really tore through that. And basic game only seems to be a little bit easier on there, which is probably why I had things set up. Why I had originally tried to do Dead Ends and Crossroads with it, because that makes it a little bit more challenging. And that was my week in gaming. As for donations, we currently have 16 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page. You can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you will find rewards, including a mention on podcast your choice, or even guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. Though you might want to consider waiting a week or two before doing that, so that you could have some money to help with the people in Extra Life, right, Bonnie?
Right. Woohoo!
Yes.
Like Bonnie Bew, for example.
Yeah.
Donate to Bonnie.
And also, if you'd like to send us an email, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAlliance, DDO Players @DDO Players, Dracula @Dracula_72, Pineleaf @PineleafNeedles, and of course on Twitch, you can follow Drac @Draculetta_72. And you can follow our guest on Twitter @Bonnie Bew. On Twitch at twitch.tv/Bonnie Bew.
I'm basically Bonnie Bew everywhere.
Bonnie Bew everywhere. That's BONNIEBEW. The Players Alliance has 2 live shows. On Mondays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players. And on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Look Players News. And you can join us for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.